Well, one candidate that is running, literally running, for the leadership of the Conservative Party is Maxime Bernier. If you haven't seen his video yet, he put one out talking about why he's running, and he was actually in a jogging outfit. So you're a runner, you're an active guy.
That's the only sport I'm doing right now, and I like it.
So,
I'm running maybe half an hour a day, an hour a day, and that's a way to manage my stress. Maybe I'm too stressed, I don't know.
You're one of those guys that gets up early in the morning and heads out on a run?
Yes. I always start my day by running, and after my big breakfast, I like to have smoothies and green juice, and up for the day.
Yeah, you're putting me to shame. So let's change topics. So let's get to the topic of why you are running. Why Maxime as leader?
Because I'm a principled politician, and I believe in freedom and free markets and less government. But for me, free markets, it is not a kind of a buzzword. I'm acting on that when I was minister before, and I spoke about it the last couple of years. So I believe that we must have a smaller government, and like that we'll have more prosperity in our country. So I want to debate with Canadians, with our members, the ideas of freedom and personal responsibility.
Are you the libertarian candidate? People keep saying that as they describe the various leadership hopefuls. Maxime Bernier, he's the libertarian.
I'm the conservative who believe in freedom and act on that.
So you don't see that you're separate and off in a different faction of the party?
No, absolutely not. I think, freedom and personal responsibility, that's the basis of Western civilization. That's why this country is like that. So speaking about that, it's speaking for having a better country. And I'm very happy that I have people, social conservative, libertarian, fiscal conservative, that are with us in this campaign.
I always talk about the legs of the stool, and you need them all, right?
That's it, yeah.
But when you say smaller government, you know that if you become leader and you're running, it will be, oh, you can't vote for him, he'll slash government, he'll cut government, and people will run around as if their lives will end if you have smaller government. So, I mean, how would you have smaller government? How do we get to smaller government?
Okay, first of all, that would be a challenge for sure, because after 5 years of big spending from the Liberal government, we will have to take a very serious decision for balancing the budget and lower taxes. The first thing that we will do, it's ending the corporate subsidies. I said that a couple of months ago. Bombardier, GM, all these big corporations, they don't need money from an entrepreneur from here, Vancouver, that has been forced to pay taxes to fund a business like GM or Bombardier. I don't believe in that. And actually, when I was saying that in a journalist, he asked me, "Oh, that's a big position. You won't be elected with that." I say no. The Federation of Independent Business, they were asking for that for the last 10 years, and they're still asking for that.
I hear about that from people that do not vote conservative. They get upset at corporate subsidies.
That's it.
They don't want big business getting their tax dollars.
And they don't want corporate welfare. And also the entrepreneur, they're proud. They don't want that also. So the way to solve that is abolish all these kind of subsidies and lower taxes to all businesses. Like that, it's a fair policy. And that's why in my campaign, I will be based on personal freedom, personal responsibility, fairness, and respect. So that's an example of a policy that would be fair for every entrepreneur all across the country.
Now, I know that you're going to be rolling out policy as you go through the campaign, so I don't expect a full platform at this point, but do Canadian individuals pay too much income tax?
Oh, yes, for sure. I wrote a book on a flat tax 10 years ago, only in French, so sorry. But I believe that we must have a system that will be simpler, that will be easy for everybody to understand the tax system. I don't believe that we must have a boutique tax credit. That's something that our government did. I think to be fair to everybody, we must lower taxes to everybody and having maybe 2 or 3 exemptions, and that's it. So I will have a detailed proposal on that next fall.
Do you think Canadians would endorse a flat tax? Alberta just had one. They didn't seem to be hurting for many years.
We can have a simpler tax system without having a flat tax. And there's a lot of things that we can do. So I don't know if I will put forward a flat tax idea, but for sure it will be a simpler and more efficient tax system.
Let's talk about who Maxime Bernier is then. You are someone who came from rural part of Quebec, an entrepreneurial part of Quebec, I'm always told. I have been down there. It's beautiful. I'm often, people will say to me, well, it's like French-speaking New Hampshire with the attitudes. Is that fair?
I like it, and yes, that's the most entrepreneurial region of Quebec, and I'm very proud of that. And I grew up there. I worked after that in Montreal in the financial sector, and I'm in politics, as you know. In 2006, the Prime Minister asked me to be a candidate, and I was very happy.
So why leave the financial sector? I mean, you held senior positions at some serious companies. You were well established. You'd been involved with the Montreal Economic Institute. It had to be a pretty successful and rewarding life. What made you say, well, you know what, let's go into politics? Let's have journalists annoy me every day.
No, I believe in freedom and personal responsibility. I like these ideas, and I want to act. I wanted to do something about it to change the society for better. I was very happy and very proud when I was industry minister and foreign affairs minister. I did reform for less regulation, like in telecom industry. I did a big reform, more free markets and that. So I wanted to act, and I wanted to give something to my country.
Okay. So, I mean, industry minister, telecom is just a huge, overly regulated sector, even today.
Yeah.
I know that when I, in a previous job, worked for a company that was small in telecom. Quebecor was one of the smaller players, but wanted to grow, and everyone says we need more competition, but they couldn't raise capital because of foreign ownership restrictions.
That's it. So there's a lot of things that we can do. Abolish the foreign ownership restriction in the telecommunication sector. There's some also in the airline sector. So we must have a look at that. So what I believe is, yes, lower taxes to entrepreneurs, having more free trade agreements, welcoming foreign investment in Canada. That's a very precise policy that we can do that will help to grow the economy. And that's why I don't believe that me as a politician or a bureaucrat in Ottawa, I don't believe that we are not creating wealth and jobs. I mean, that's the entrepreneur.
Look at the small telecoms that have tried to enter the cell phone market.
Too much regulation, too many regulations.
But they can't grow and compete against the big guys because there's not enough money, there's not enough capital in Canada to do this.
They're not able to go and ask money, I don't know, from US or other countries. And so you're right, there's no capital. But you know, this country has been built by foreign investment from London, from US. And so we need to welcome foreign investment. So a small telecom, if we were able to accept foreign investment in Canada in this particular industry, that would have helped a small corporation.
All right. What makes Maxime Bernier tick when he's not talking politics?
I like to read. I like to relax with my daughters and play football with my friends. And I think that will with time. I like to play it. I was playing football when I was young and younger, and and I like that. So I like to do some sport and relax a little bit.
Okay, I didn't know you were a football player.
Yeah, I'm tall and skinny, so I was mostly on defensive, and I was very fast. So that went well. And actually, we won when I was at high school, the better team in Quebec. So we call that the Ball d'Or. And that was great. But I don't have time. I cannot play football, but I like to play a little bit with my friends.
Oh, no, definitely not. I used to be tall and skinny. Now I'm just tall. And so for me, it was they just give me the ball and tell me to run. So it's got to be a stressful situation that you're in now. You are a full-time MP. That's a serious job. What's it like crisscrossing the country?
Yes.
Talking to party members, talking to Canadians, especially outside Quebec. You are very well known in Quebec.
Yes.
Less so outside.
You're right.
What's the time drain like? What's the stress level like of trying to accomplish all this?
It's a good stress. It is a positive stress. And I like it. I like to meet people. I like to have a discussion with them, to speak about what I believe and what we believe as Canadians. So, and for me, it gives me a lot of enthusiasm when I'm meeting people and a lot of energy. And I try to do my sport when I'm traveling. As you know, I'm running every morning, so it's easy to do that sport.
Yeah, that's easy to do when you're
traveling.
That's
easy. And but the most interesting is the last 10 years I was speaking about that, and now it's just to be sure that people understand and they know who I am.
You said our values. The other day I'm on the radio and someone called in and said, Brian, in this conservative talk station, I mean, you've been on the show, they said, Brian, you have to realize Canada is a liberal country. Do you think Canada is a liberal or left-wing country?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, for having social program, first of all, it must be a prosperous country. And yes, you can have this social program. And I'm very scared about the deficit right now. Every Canadian, for $1 that we are sending to the federal government, we are paying 10 cents on a dollar on interest. So the debt is huge right now.
That's just the interest. That's not paying down the debt.
That's just the interest. And so it will be difficult if something happened in the economy. With the government won't be able to act, to do something, because the debt are there and we have to pay that. And also it's unfair for the future generation. We are spending money that we don't have, that it is not going to infrastructure. And you did a good report on that. Only 2/3 of the federal Trudeau infrastructure spending is going, only 1/3 is going to real infrastructure.
All the other social infrastructure, daycare programs, that's not infrastructure.
It's all social program. So the worst thing about that is the future generation. They will have to pay for that, but without any benefit. So it is not responsible, it is unfair, and we must change that.
All right, Maxime Bernier, pleasure talking to you as always.
Thank you, merci beaucoup, thanks.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.